My name is ESOSA and I am the costume designer for Fences. For me, as a costume designer, I'm successful when the audience does not notice the costume so much. When they get invested in the character. And when people say at the end of a show, oh, I remember a dress like that. My grandma had a dress like that. Or I used to dress like that. That to me says that I touched something universal in the character that everyone can relate to. For me, as a fashion designer slash costume designer, really I describe it as two sides of the same brain. Because for me, the art form of making clothing is always the same. It's just you take different ideas and considerations when you're doing theater. Because theater, you have to realize that the clothing gets worn 8 times a week. So that informs what type of fabrics you use, because you want longevity. Our memories are a lot more vivid than what we remember. Than our reality. So although these are contemporary clothing for that time, I always like to tweak it, give it a theatricality about it, and we play with dyeing things, painting things. But Fences, to me, has a really warm, earthy, everyday man type of palette. These are working people. These are people from the neighborhoods. And I like to find the beauty in the everyday. So I may tweak the color of the shirt, where it's a little more theatrical than normal. Because I like to take the audience on a journey. Because like I said, I think everyone's memory is always richer. Like grandma's food always tastes better now that you remember it. The music was better then. And I think it's our memory that plays onto that. But I like to use that in a theatrical way to heighten the perception of the colors and the palette and the patterns. That's how I think I give my clothing a contemporary edge, but it makes them theatrical and not fantasy, but transportive. Because at the end of the day, these are real people wearing clothing. The fact that it's on stage is what makes it a costume, but in my eye, really, I'm a fashion designer, and depending on what period I'm working in, of that period. Now we're here working on Fences, so in my head, I'm a fashion designer from the 50s. So I study what the silhouettes were, what fabrics were available, what wasn't available. I think it's the biggest real thing for me, because right nowadays everything has Lycra and everything moves, and then a lot of things didn't have Lycra, so that informs the actor, how it changes their physicality. I just like the process of creating art, and theater design for me blends my love of fashion and then my love of creating art, and I think it's a happy marriage.